was the 11th person voted out of Survivor Bloomsburg, unfortunately for him. So Caleb, coming into this season 2 of Survivor Bloomsburg, what did you do to prepare, and how did you feel that your experience from season 1 played a role?
Well, going into this, my preparation for season 1 was essentially this. I binge watched a few seasons, and going into this, I wanted to come back harder than ever, and put up at least a much bigger fight, and be a bigger threat this time around. So I binge watched even more Survivor seasons, and there was another YouTuber I found even before I started with Bloomsburg Survivor called Once Upon an Island, and this guy is awesome. He does a lot of breakdowns on Survivor's games, whether or not they're being stupid, strategic, if they're a hero or villain. Hopefully, if my games were to ever be dissected, I'd be more strategic than dumb, but that's only from my perspective.
So you saw those. Did you end up seeing any other schools Survivor?
No, I have not. I could not find any other. I know there was some that were inspired, but I do not know any particular schools. So I tried to find some, but as far as I know, Bloomsburg is the only one that I knew I could relatively find.
That's pretty cool. So you started out on Blue Kinzua in season 1 and Yellow Python here in season 2. Tell us about how this season's team compared to season 1 for you.
Well, I definitely think there's a lot more cohesion. I gotta say, with Kinzua 1, we were really as you said, we had kind of a bit of a high horse after winning the first episode of season 1, especially considering how we were man down and we essentially were kind of ganged up on in the first challenge, the balloon popping one, and it came back. But here, also considering that a fact that I had my core 3-man alliance get picked for me, and one of them managed to convince Lee to pick me too on that, was helping convince Lee to pick me. It definitely felt good, and especially we all worked well, and I could say I had a hell of a time with both tribes.
In episode 1, what was your favorite challenge and why? Between Gaga Ball, Don't Drop the Mic, or the Wooden Square Plank Hold?
The Don't Drop the Mic one, that was fun, and considering even before the game started, Lee and Jack knew they were going to throw the whole throw the mic up in the air and try and get that. That was my plan. I was going to do that, but they suggested it, and I thought if too many people did it, it would become too expected, and so I tried to play a bit more aggressive.
So in episode 1, how did you decide who you were going to align with and why?
My main alliance was Jack and Brady. Me, Jack, and Brady, we were the core 3. We met a few hours before each episode to align our strategies and figure out what the hell we were going to do. We were planning ahead for them. We had plans for the merge. We had plans for tribe swap. We had a bunch of different plans for who we were going to align with, who we were going to keep dragging along. It was pretty awesome.
From episode 2, tell us about your experience with challenges from Capture the Flag to the Relay and the Tug of War Dual Knockout. Your highs and your lows.
So, this is really before I started finding my stride with the challenges, but the big one I contributed to most was the Capture the Flag, because at least then it was me and Cameron on defending one of our flags and stuff. It was just mainly being defense and trying to keep people from grabbing our flags. I did slam into someone, and the only time I got taken out from that game was I slammed into someone, got knocked to the ground, and Joe, being an opportunistic little guy as he was, snatched my flag out as I was getting up. So that was the only time I got out. The relay, I didn't participate in that, mainly trying to root my tribe on from the sidelines, and then the tug of war. I don't like to talk about the tug of war.
What were your thoughts about the first Python vote out of Dylan C in episode 2, and would you have preferred to see things play out differently?
The whole plan was to go things differently. That was the big vote that I was a part of that completely blew up. We wanted to, the whole plan, at least my plan going into it, was that I wanted to get someone from, I can't remember if it was Python C or D. I can never remember because the whole ABCD thing. Mm-hmm. But from that Python tribe to get out, and then my Python tribe would have the majority on that one. Dylan C was willing to work with us, so the whole plan was my Python tribe, and then Dylan C vote out Holly because we suspected it seemed obvious to at least go for break up the Goes Alliance. Holly was the one that we weren't sure if they had a night or not, so she seemed to be the safest vote to get out, and it completely and utterly blew up in our face as our entire tribe split off into different people, and then Dylan C got out.
Mm-hmm. Opportunity to complete the escape room challenge to get a clue for an advantage or an idol, but chose not to complete it. What happened that night?
Instead, what I decided to do was while all of them were at the escape room, I decided to go on campus myself and see if I could find it by without a clue while they were all at the escape room and see if I had time. But unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go up to upper campus, which I now know is where they were. So I spent like an hour and a half just like completely scouring lower campus trying to find something. But I thought it was smart, but it just didn't work out in the end.
So, would you have changed your mind if you knew what you know about doing the escape rooms?
Probably not, because even then, I was there last. If I could have gotten there earlier, like before, I think Holly was there like an hour and a half before anyone even got up there first, like an hour and a half before it started. So if I got that sooner, hell yeah, I would have tried it. But where I was at, it did not seem like logical. I'm sure I could have gotten a clue, but then a bunch of other people ahead of me would have had a head start. So it just seemed like it didn't seem like worth the effort.
In episode 3, describe how the challenges went for you, starting with volleyball, pinball dodgeball, and then flippin' dots challenge.
So the volleyball one, I didn't participate. I never played volleyball in my life, so I think that was a smart move on my end to stay out. Dodgeball, despite how a bit infuriating it was, especially for some members of my tribe, I was meat shield. Whole purpose was just me trying to like keep some of the other guys that I knew could actually throw it and hit the ball against some of the other contestants to try and like take them out. I got hit once, and then I threw a ball and it got caught, so whatever, and then got hit again. But the big one I had was the flippin' dots one. At least that was the one I was most happy with, because at least everyone was calling me the MVP. I was the one slipping and sliding, trying to get as many. My whole goal was any dots that the Gator people flipped over, I was flipping them back. And I messed up my knee on that episode, and I tore a hole in my pants. So at least my tribe couldn't say I didn't give it my all, and I didn't give some blood in the end.
What were your thoughts? So now you get to talk about Tucker. So what were your thoughts about the Tucker vote out in episode 3, and would you have preferred to see things play out differently?
He first told us that the vote was going to be for Ozzy, and then I'm with him. And then he goes up to Cameron and like right in front of me, he says they could go for Jack and Brady. And like already I had suspicions on him, because he's telling us Cameron has an idol, Julie has an idol, an all-girl alliance, and then on episode 2 he still wanted to go for Ozzy, and it's like, so you're telling us they have idols, but you don't want to try and get an unsuspecting move and try and get an idol out? So it's more or less like he was trying to play people. I don't know, I can't tell exactly what his goal in the end was. I think it could have been he just got too cocky, made too many moves at the same time, or if he was trying to cause like some kind of division between the Pythons, make us like a bigger target, I don't know. But in the end, he just got told too many people different things, and in the end it screwed him up.
In episode 4, how did laser tag and mini golf go for you? Why do you think Python dominated yet again?
Definitely laser tag was a fun one. I think part of it, like Anthony was really aggressive, so he kept getting shot at. I think we were just more playing passive. We managed to hold the high, like keep our ground, stay while they kept trying to come to us. We played more passive, forcing them to play more aggressive, and we were able to get a lot more shots on them. Golf, I can't say anything about golf. We didn't even get to complete the first hole. So I mean, I'm not too bad at golf, I like to think, but then again, my record when I go to Ocean City, Maryland, tells to tend me otherwise. So maybe in the end, us not getting able to finish that first hole and solely focus on laser tag might have done as well in the end.
So tell us about the story about the Sundance Kid trying to live to see another day. Your famous final last words on the tribal hut. What inspired that?
Just trying to be more funny, if you look at my game season 1 now, obviously you see I get a lot more screen time in season 1. I was really quiet. I didn't do too much strategizing or make too much lines. I was definitely the next one after Jeff. I was definitely going to be the next one to go out on Kinzua if we had not swapped. So here I really want to try and make more of a play and actually try and have more fun with the game and actually try and make more of us a presence on there. So my alliance with Jack and Brady helps. I was kind of one of the driving forces between the Holly vote, which was fun. It blew up in my face, but trying to get someone out and trying to be one of those speaking voices, yeah, it was fun with that. And I really found my stride in challenges. I was able to do well. So, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
What inspired you? Your last story.
Yeah. So, as always, that was one of the things. I wanted to be more comedic. I wanted to be more enjoyable to watch. And, you know, I always wanted to be more funny. I kind of wanted to be like the class clown of the season. I'm not sure if all my jokes landed, but, you know, in the end, I think that one is I think that one's gonna land its mark.
Advantages that players may have earned in episodes 1 through 4 have already expired and were never used. Why do you feel some people didn't play some of them, and why?
I know Jack and Blade, they had the tri-swap one, so they would, and the whole plan, that was going to be strategically if we needed to, if we wanted to keep the alliance running, if we felt that we were not going to be safe. The plan was because Jack found out, that if they swapped the team captains on the tribe, they become the team captain of that team. So the idea was, in case we ever needed it, Jack and Benny would swap the team captains, and then they would give me the key so that I get out, I get safe, and I can try and give our alliance some more keys. But it never ever going that way because, you know, Python dominated and we were pretty safe and we felt safe with who we had aligned ourselves with, and in the end, you know, it just never needed to be played.
So you never got to go on a journey with the Jumbo Key this season. What have you heard about them, and do you feel that impacted your game?
No, I couldn't say it really impacted my game. Besides, you know, just not getting just not getting like more keys and stuff. You know, keys are always going to be. It's interesting to see how well the keys are going to be played here. But as for the journey, I haven't heard too much about it. I think it was like a bunch of board games. That was the thing I heard, so I can't really say how too much about it. But it's definitely going to be affecting other people's games. Because like Julie, who's been picked almost every single time when Gator wins to go to the journey. A lot of people are starting to look at her now because they don't know how many keys she has, but knows that she probably has a decent amount. So now they're looking at her, and I think she could be going out soon just because she has now that big target on her back. And not to mention to believe now because Cameron played an idol at the end of the season, which I got past second-handed, which we knew one of them did. And so now it's going to find out if, you know, there's a second idol between them. Because we were at least told they had like 2 idols. So with all that knowledge in, it's going to be looking like it might be some targets of Cameron, Holly, and Julie as they are that suspected trio alliance.
Yeah. So now we can catch the Sundance Kids on Wednesday nights?
You can catch the Sundance Kid on Solstice on WHSK every Wednesday from 6 to 7.